Hello, and welcome to Big Bang Radio Spotlights, a show where we talk to independent artists from all over the world about their music and their process for making it. I'm your host, Arthel Hayes, and today I got to talk to Robbie from Dancing on Tables. Without any further ado, here's the interview. On Big Bang Radio Spotlights, we like asking the same question every single time, for the first question anyway. And that first question is, what is your earliest musical memory?
For me, I first remember getting into music when my dad would take me to football games, when I was maybe 5 and 6, and being sat in the passenger seat and starting to look through these albums that he had in his car, and it was all classic rock. It was AC/DC, Status Quo, Sex Pistols, The Clash. It was these kind of bands that he grew up loving, and for me, it was just starting to put those on when I was that young and getting just suddenly immersed in all this music that I didn't know ever existed.
If the band Dancing on Tables never formed, where do you think you'd be in life right now?
Well, I actually studied accountancy at university, so that's the least rock and roll degree you could ever have. So probably still not that, but yeah, probably in some kind of office job, sitting, looking out the window thinking, oh, what if I gave music a go? So I'm glad I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'm glad too. You guys make some really cool music.
Thank you.
Out of all the live shows that you've done, what is your favorite or most memorable?
Kind of most memorable was we did 2 arena shows in Scotland supporting Catfish and the Bottlemen, which was we were going from playing our own shows, maybe 500-600 people, to playing to 15,000, 20,000, just in no time at all. So it was crazy just being on that stage and seeing those people was the most memorable. But favourite for me was probably the shows we did after that, literally days before lockdown. And we played 2 Scottish shows, which were just the best feeling we've ever had coming off a stage, being in your home country and hearing so many people singing your songs.
Right. Yeah, I can imagine it's got to be a beautiful feeling.
Yeah, it's so weird, especially when some lyrics are quite personal to you, and suddenly you've got hundreds of people singing it, and they maybe don't know the full reason behind why you put those words in, and it's lots of mixed emotions, but overall it's great fun to hear people singing along.
How do you guys handle mistakes that happen on stage?
So with trying to be not as stressed as possible, one or the biggest mistake we've ever had, I won't bore you with the technical details, but as part of our setup, we use a laptop to help with the sample stuff that we play. And on the first of those arena Catfish and the Bottlemen support shows, so we're stepping out, getting ready to play 10,000 people waiting for us, or however many it was, and somebody had kicked the charger out of the laptop, so the laptop had died after we'd set up, and we didn't know, so we had to just wait for a minute for it to log back in. And then our drummer runs it, but it was our bass player's laptop. So he's like, "Gregor, what's the password?" Shouting across this stage. But the main thing is about mistakes is that if you act like it was meant to happen, everybody will believe you, because they have no reason not to. So everybody thought we were just really, really building up the hype before we started playing.
You had the album come out in October, called Color in the Gray, right?
Yeah, Color in the Gray.
Do you have a favorite track on that album?
It kind of varies depending on, there's different reasons why, maybe songwriting wise, there's favorites, but overall, I really like how we end the album with Roller Coaster Love, which is probably, because it's right at the end, it's probably the one that people have listened to the least, because people will maybe not be able to listen to it all the way through, but it's one which it's actually very different to anything we normally do. So it's kind of a ballad that grows and grows and then ends up in this big wall of guitars and anthemic sound. So yeah, between like songwriting lyrically and just how it makes me feel when I listen to it, that is my favorite.
You just a little. I did a little bit of research and found out that you and Callum, did I say his name right?
Yeah,
Callum?
yeah.
Okay.
Not many people in America say Callum correctly, which I didn't know.
So you and Callum start the songwriting process, and then you hand it over to Gregor, Reese, and Hamish to flesh it out.
Close.
Hamish?
Yeah.
Okay, Hamish.
You almost got there. You almost got there.
So is there ever any disconnect in creative ideas, or are you guys always in sync in that process?
Well, I think sometimes there's like, because Callum sings as well, so we'll kind of get together and, as you say, get the original ideas and the chord structure, and we'll write the lyrics. And then when we get together with the rest of the guys, sometimes we'll have songs. There's an album on the, a song on the album called Breathe, which when we wrote it, we thought it was going to be like a slow kind of acoustic piano one. Then got with the rest of the band, and the rest of the guys were like, no, like, let's lift this up, let's rock it. And it ended up how you hear it on the album now, which is one of like the more up-tempo, in-your-face ones. So I think even if there is a disconnect, different ideas, we work well together, and we've been doing this kind of routine together for years now. So we work well off each other, and we're happy with where it ends up in the end. So what advice do you have for nervous beginners, beginning artists or musicians? I think that the one thing that has always stuck with me that I was told starting out was, like, I won't use the actual word I was told, but basically be nice to everyone, because in the music industry, everybody's there kind of for the same reason. Everybody's trying to make it. And if you start acting as some like big diva who, you've got you think you're entitled to all sorts, you don't know who is in the room, you don't know who you're annoying. So yeah, basically just be nice, and hopefully you're a nice person anyway, and it doesn't come too tricky to do that. But yeah, it's in music, you never know who's around you and who could help you out. So the more friends you have, the more help you're going to get. So on your website, you have a place where somebody can purchase the outfits and see what you guys wore in one of your music videos, which I believe it was the video, How Do I Get Back to Her? That's not something you see really often. What inspired you guys to do that? Do any of you have like a particular thing for fashion, or was it just something that you wanted to do? So basically, we've always been quite conscious of what we wear, and I think being in music, we're maybe not naturally as fashion driven as other people, but we realize that it's part of being a band, and music has always had such a huge influence in fashion, and they've been intertwined for as long as music's been around, popularly anyway. So yeah, it's something that we've always been wary of. And it was actually a company that run that platform called Victor's, it was a friend of a friend, and we got talking, and this guy said that he has this platform and they're always looking for new artists to work with. So yeah, we kind of worked with them, and kind of really, I think that was because that was the first video that we did for this album. And it was the first time that we properly sat down and were like, right, let's head to toe plan out the 5 outfits, and we had 3 outfit changes as well during the music video. So it was like 2 whole days sat down just looking at mood boards and stuff, which I actually quite enjoyed it in the end, because it's not something you'd expect you have to do going in as a musician, but it was something different, so it was good fun.
So my final question for today is, where can people keep up with you online?
So if you search Dancing on Tables on pretty much anything, you'll find us. I like to think that like Facebook's the professional side of the band, and then Instagram's a little bit more kind of friendly, and then if you see us on TikTok, it's us as people rather than, you know, being, it's a lot more silly basically, because we are a bit silly. So yeah, you can see us on anything. We post lots of stuff, covers and acoustics, and yeah, just we're always posting stuff up there, and we've got new videos coming out, as I say, and yeah, maybe you'll hear some sneak peeks of the next album as well.
Thanks to Robbie for sitting down with us and talking all about Dancing on Tables music. If you want to see more interviews just like this one, you can find us online at Studio 67 NCC. Thank you all for watching. My name is Arthel Hayes, and don't forget, stay wicked.